Madam Secretary, just wanted to start off by thanking you for working so hard to get the marketing assistance for specialty crops out the door as quickly as possible, comparatively lightning speed. So appreciate your dedication to getting all of that done. As you know, they're critically important to specialty crop producers, particularly in my district. And I can't express enough how important that is. I wanted to go back to something that the chairman brought up, and that's the issue of purchases of domestic farmland by foreign countries, particularly China. I should thank you for your staunch support of American farmers in that sentence, but farmland purchases by the CCP, as you've noted, has increased substantially over the past decade. And I guess my question summarized would just, if you have any updates, kind of fill us in on some of the conversations that you're having and directions that you're taking in order to stop this really concerning trend that we're seeing in our.
That's right. I think it's clearly bipartisan. It's not one side or the other.
For sure.
In the great pause, which I call the time between Trump 1 and Trump 2, I actually worked very a lot of time on this China purchasing of farmland and working with the states. And then Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, Governor Sarah Sanders of Arkansas, Governor Glenn Youngkin of Virginia, and currently working with other governors around the country because they can address it at the state level too. So while we are building out the federal solution, and sir, to your question, we are building out the federal solution. I'll be making an announcement on that in the next couple of weeks of what that looks like, and would love your help and any others that are interested in that issue specifically. We do need to have an all-of-government approach to this. It is a national security issue of the greatest priority from my perspective. And so working with the states, ensuring they're getting what they need to pass the legislation. And again, 3 states already have,
Right.
but having a federally driven effort is of key importance and a priority for us.
As a member of the Select Committee on China and sitting right next to the chairman of the Select Committee on China, that's
This
really good
sounds
to hear
good.
that
Thank
commitment.
you.
So thank you. Switching, a little feedback here, switching to agricultural research, in the state of Washington, we grow over 300 different kinds of specialty crops. We're #1 producer of apples, maybe you've heard of Washington apples, hops, blueberries, sweet cherries, a diverse range of crops that are so important to our agricultural economy. Innovation is what truly supports our nation's farmers there. And so I just wanted to bring up the issue of the cutting edge research that we're very fortunate to have through Washington State University, Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, Bioproducts Science and Engineering Laboratory. So I just wanted to, I guess, Secretary Rollins, ask you about USDA's continued support for programs that provide critical research for American
Well, and a
facilities.
shout out to Washington State. I would love to come visit. That is a really premier institution.
You got it. You got an invitation
I know.
right
I'm
there.
a product of a land grant, Texas A&M, so I really realize their importance. Just very quickly on ARS, hopefully to provide some confidence, we remain very committed to the cutting edge research at USDA. Of the $160 million that is being cut, but I want to put it in context for you. The current budget is $2.1 billion. We're taking that down to $1.9 billion. That's just a 7% decrease, and it is specifically focused on underutilized and out-of-date a handful of facilities around the country. So that is not an across-the-board cut. We'll continue to focus with everything we have on important research.
Cool. In the 30 seconds I have left, I just wanted to underscore, Mr. Valadero brought up the issue of ag labor. I think this is an opportune time. Like you mentioned, the president's comments are very positive. I think we've got a commitment on both sides of the aisle to move forward with that reforms that are needed, H-2A visa program. So love to have your commitment there. And then also just learning about some of the issues with the potential infestation of the screwworm that's coming up from down south, and look forward to working with you on whatever we can do to stop that pest from entering the United States.
As you know, I've been very clear with the country of Mexico on the importance of their partnership. We maybe weren't getting as much as we needed. And just yesterday, the Secretary of Agriculture of Mexico flew to Washington, and we had a very productive conversation on that specific issue. I've already visited in South Texas and other areas where it would be devastating for our livestock. So we're on it, and hopefully you're able to solve for it.
Great. Again, thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman.